Welcome to TVC Live. All right, so the same routine that we've done every time. Can you hear us?
Tell us in the chat when we get there. Yeah.
We had a little trouble last week, but this week is going to be perfect.
Yes.
You know
yes,
that?
Liz, you weren't, I don't think, here last week, but we did have some trouble getting started. So see, it's not just you.
I almost called you. Well, we have a jam-packed show.
Yes,
there are a lot of things to look at.
A lot of exciting things. Yes.
So we're gonna do. We have a new segment tonight, which is kind of fun. It's called "What Have We Seen This Week?" Or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're gonna tell you a little bit about what we saw, what we've been up to, and then we're going to start taking a look at some RV renovations.
Yeah, we have some great tours of rigs and some awesome photographs. I mean, some of you people are really impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know whether to be inspired or depressed, but I think mostly inspired. Y'all do some amazing things with your rigs, and we can't wait to share it.
Yeah. The Facebook page, the RV Renovations Facebook page, is intimidating. Really.
It is. But the really interesting thing is, and when we walk through some of these, we'll show you and tell you about them. Most of them have been done by the people that own the rig by themselves, and they make it sound almost easy.
Almost easy.
Time
it's very
consuming.
Deceptive. Yeah.
Time consuming, but doable. I mean, a lot of them have said we're not really DIYers, and they've done something that's really pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So it is pretty interesting to see what everybody's done, and I can't wait to show it to y'all.
Yeah. So
we've had a pretty exciting week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have. I was just going to say that you've sent us some photos that we're going to share with you. We have some rig tours, and then we have a really cool guest coming up next week that we'll tell more about later.
Yeah.
So
exactly. So. Absolutely. So we're going to start out with our exciting week. We had a pretty fun week. We actually got out. We're in Colorado now, and we got out last weekend and drove around a bit. My Mother's Day gift was to get out of the rig. And so we went for a drive up and got to see the beautiful mountains. That was nice. And we actually went into Ouray, and the exciting thing, there were stores open. So you had to wear a mask and you had to sanitize your hands, but you could walk into a store, even a bookstore, and walk around a little bit. So that was exciting and fun. And then we were able to drive a little bit into
Gunnison,
Black Canyons of Gunnison.
Yeah, Black Canyon
of Gunnison
National
Park. Yeah, it's a mouthful. But the Black Canyons of National Park, we got to go inside there a little bit. Can't drive all the way through, but we got a little bit in there and got to see the Black Canyons.
Overlook and see the canyon. And it's a beautiful canyon. Not quite like the Grand Canyon, but that's why they call the Grand Canyon the Grand Canyon.
That's right.
But it's a beautiful canyon. So if you're ever in this area, please go by.
Good to know. People can hear us loud and clear. And no, Liz, he has not gotten a haircut. No. I'm ready for him to get a haircut, but he has not.
I just,
he just use more slicky stuff.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Yeah.
So we're waiting for the barbershops to open. But yes, I'm ready for a haircut too. At any rate, okay. But one of the things we want to show, actually have some show and tell. And so this is the segment, right?
This is it. Okay, you ready? This is the new segment. Okay.
Same music.
All right. This is what we saw. Now, what is this, Deborah?
Well, first of all, I'm going to ask y'all, do you know what this is? Does anybody know what this is? Because we saw it when we were coming through the park. It came out, and he was really kind of funny. I only caught him on that side, but he kept walking back and forth in front of us and sort of in front of the Jeep like he was
very cocky.
Yeah, very. So we were wondering what he was, and I assumed he's some sort of tiny turkey because I'm a city girl. I don't know anything. So anyway, but I did get back and we looked it up, so I now know what it is. Does anybody know what it is? I don't know. Y'all are just now seeing it. So tell me if you know what that is.
Some kind of peacock. Well, that's what we thought.
Yeah? No?
Tiny peacock.
I mean, maybe they're in the same family, though.
Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't go that far into the genetics of it. But yes, you're much closer there, Teresa. Not a sage grouse, but a dusky grouse. Dusky grouse. And the funny thing was, apparently, the fact that he had his feathers all showing and the I don't know what to call those, the neck patches that were quite pink. And you could also see these like yellow eyebrows that he had. Apparently the fact that we could see all that meant he was in mating season.
Yeah,
so we're really not sure what he was trying to do with the Jeep.
Joanne wants to know, was he looking for a treat? Yes, he was.
He was.
He was looking for a treat.
Not that we could have provided it for him.
But apparently there must have been one around because, he was.
We never saw the hen. We just saw him. So anyway, but that was kind of exciting. We also saw on our drive some bighorn sheep.
Bighorn sheep.
So we got to see wildlife.
Yeah, we've seen not elk,
mule deer.
Mule deer.
Mule deer.
So
it's been kind of a fun little time.
Oh, and we had a tiny little finch.
Oh, and the birds.
Tiny little finch come and hang out with us. Just a couple of feet from Deborah, just came and sat on the chair and hung out with us for probably a good 5 minutes, just looking around.
Yeah, no, even longer than 5 minutes. Barry got up from his chair to go make me dinner, and the little tiny finch landed on his chair, stayed there. Barry started to sit down. I told him he couldn't because the bird was there, and it was there. You had to actually eat dinner over on the step. It was there for about 30 minutes.
Dad wouldn't let me sit on the chair.
And then the poor thing, he flew away, and he came back and bumped right into the rig. But he seemed fine. He flew away a little while later. So kind of crazy little bird time.
Yeah.
So anyway.
All kinds of wildlife.
All kinds of exciting. So, okay, are we ready to get started?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
So, like we said, we have lots of things to show you. We worked really hard this week to pull together some information, and people, like you said, sent us some pictures. This is the group that we have. It's a private group on Facebook. You just have to, again, ask to be in it if you're interested and know that you have a rig and tell us that you have a rig. But the RV Renovations group on Facebook is an exceedingly active group.
Yeah, very active.
Oh my goodness, active. Lots of members in it. And so they are really, really busy. And the people that are in it are showing what they've done and how they've done it and what they're happy to share their paint and etc. So we're excited to get to share some of this inspiration with you. It really kind of made me want to make a lot of changes on the rig,
which is disappointing.
But and maybe that'll happen at some point. But so one thing just to tell you guys before we get started, a lot of the people that I see on this, they are telling us they are getting their ideas from Pinterest, of course. Mm-hmm. They get those. A lot of the stuff is bought at IKEA. Yep. They also buy a lot from Amazon and also see things on YouTube like us. Yeah. So, but the other thing that's really interesting, a lot of times they will share how much things cost, and it is really inexpensive because again they're doing a lot of it themselves. They do it really inexpensively. So hopefully we'll share a little bit more of that as we go on. But we thought we would start with Candace and Jeff. Yeah.
So this was a couple we met a couple of years ago at the RV Entrepreneur Summit. Dynamic couple, and they just got a new fifth wheel. And they completely renovated it, and
tripping with the Smiths.
Tripping with the Smiths. So we're gonna play that video, and then we'll see you on the other side. It's pretty quick, but pay attention. There's a lot of really cool details in it. All right, here we go. We'll see you back soon.
Welcome to our home on wheels. I'm Candace Smith.
Jeff Smith, and we are in our new home to us. We upgraded this about 6 months ago. This is a 45-foot DRV full house JX450.
Toy hauler.
Toy hauler, yeah. And it is 46 feet long, 45 feet long, 21,000 pounds unloaded, and about 25,000 pounds loaded. So, if you look around here, we haven't really done a whole lot in here, other than we painted all the cupboards.
It was a lot, baby.
Which was a lot. It was a lot. Everything that's white used to be brown.
Yes.
And then it came with quartz countertops. Came with a really nice backsplash that we didn't have to modify. And we added a knife magnet because we like it that way. Everything else in here is pretty well stocked. We painted the entertainment center white. The walls were already a light gray, and between the light gray, the quartz countertop, the tile floor, it all kind of blended really, really nicely. Yeah. We do have something to replace these on order. These the last owner had in here, and we don't care for them, and they don't match. We've got a really nice couch sitting in a Lazy Boy.
Too bad.
Yeah, we've got a really nice couch sitting in a Lazy Boy warehouse right now that we're unable to grab. So table pulls out. You can actually sit 4 people here.
Yeah,
and pull all the way out to here and have a leaf in it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty comfortable. We've got some folding chairs we keep under the bed. The I don't know if you can see this up here. These came stock. It's a special order on them, but DRV will put these in, and they're actually wood instead of the cloth covered stuff that most of them have. So it made it really nice and easy to refinish. When we did the cabinets, we also added some shelves to them. This one was here from the factory, but the rest of it was just a couple shelves that are really hard to get to. In fact, we have to use a ladder to get to these, but I just built these little slide outs and threw in here. You can also, if you don't feel like building them, buy them on Amazon for like 70 bucks a piece.
Yep.
But they're like 15 bucks a piece to make.
Yeah, we also did that in these cabinets down here.
Yep.
This pulls out where you have some pots. Down there as well.
Then if we go upstairs, you can see where this used to all be brown and we made it white. And you can squeeze into the sacrifice, right? The bathroom's a sacrificial space here. But this here used to be a washer and dryer. And when we got it, we took the washer dryer out and got rid of them because our theory is more storage is always better.
Yep.
And there's almost always a laundromat within 10 minutes of a campground.
And you can get your laundry done quicker instead of doing it all day long. And I love that.
The bedroom is pretty much stock. This is what the whole RV looked like. We haven't decided what we're going to do in this space yet, so we're leaving it as is for now. It's got a decent closet up front and a king size bed. If I were to order it, it would be a queen size bed, but it came like this. All right, queen size gives you a little bit more room in the bedroom.
Yeah, walking on the sides.
And then we had bed jets to keep us cool at night because we sleep hot. So it blows air into this 2-layer sheet here, and it'll actually inflate the whole thing up and you'll look like you're the Marshmallow Man in bed.
Yeah.
But it keeps you cool at night.
Or hot. I liked it mine's for warm.
Yep, it heats and cools. And we put the units inside the bed so we weren't stumbling over them.
Or
And
the dogs.
the dogs weren't hitting them, and it also allows us a little bit quicker tear down and set up when it's time to move.
Yep.
We like everything to stay as set up as possible when we move. It just makes it easier.
Yep.
We also added this cabinet. It's actually 2 cabinets stacked in this dead space here for Candace's clothes.
Yes.
Because she packs heavy.
Yes.
We live here. It's not been refinished yet or finished yet because we don't know what we want to do in here. So when we figure that out, we'll go ahead and finish it and move on with life.
All right, y'all. Let's head to the office now.
Now, the
Take it
office
away,
back
babe.
here used to be a garage, and this is one of the biggest reasons we switched the style of fifth wheel that we have.
Yep.
We used to have a traditional rear living fifth wheel, and we took out the rear couch and we had our desks in there, but there was no separation of work, office, home, nothing like that. We both worked from home, so we really wanted a toy hauler that we could convert the garage into office space. We added the desks, all the cabinetry in here we added, and the carpet to kind of make it a little bit more homey. It was already gray from the factory, and
Which is a good color.
we're fine with that color, so we're not going to do that. Traditional toy haulers typically are going to have seats that go up and down or fold up or some sort. This was ordered without the seats, which is nice because they don't have them taking up space. It does have the bed on top, which we use for storage most of the time.
Yep.
However, if we do have a guest, this bed will come down to about this level, and actually it's about this level because of the computers. We installed brackets to keep it from crushing our computers. So you can't have guests back here. They just got to be up by the time it's time to go to work.
If it's during the week.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then finally back here we've got the patio that the dogs are dying to avoid right now. They always want to go out there all day long until you have people inside. But it's generally a dog space, and then sometimes we sit out there as well. It's a nice additional space to the RV.
All right, y'all. Thank you for coming to our home. I hope you enjoyed the tour and maybe got some great ideas about how you could turn your home on wheels to how you like it, to your liking.
It's your home. Whatever home you're in, make it yours.
Yep.
Forget about what other people think, what other people say, and live comfortably in your home.
In your home on wheels.
Yeah, in your home on wheels. Thank you for coming and visit. I hope you enjoyed it and hope you got some ideas.
Thank you, Candace and Jeff. That was awesome.
Thanks for letting us do that in your home. It is an amazing toy hauler.
It's about 45 feet,
45 feet. And what I love is that office. And when you have a toy hauler, it eats up so much space. But of course, if you get a 45-foot toy hauler, you still have a great amount of living space, and then a fantastic office, and then the patio. Oh my God.
Yes, that's really nice, especially if you think about sometimes the weather, that you could sit out there no matter what, and and have it. Doug, that's nice setup, and I don't know if Mary's going to let you get one, but yes, that's nice.
Good luck, Doug.
but the Candace and Jeff are full timers.
Yes,
and they both work. Jeff works for someone, so he works really pretty much 9 to 5. So office setup, very important for him. And then Candace has an online fitness business. So they both work full time as well. So yes, I think that's one of the reasons why they decided an office might take a lot of priority over some other things that some other people might think is a priority.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's beautiful.
But and you can see they live there also with 2 full-grown dogs.
Yeah.
So they did need a lot of room. So yes, absolutely. Yeah, but it's a beautiful rig. But you did notice, did you show the stained glass mirror?
No, they really didn't show that.
On their door, they have
that was really cool.
Their door has just a little piece of stained glass that's really pretty. But they said it came with it. They didn't put it in. But I think you could put one in.
Yeah, I've seen those.
I keep trying to think about where we could put one in, but it would block all of our actual driving.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that might be a problem.
Being able to see while you drive is overrated.
Kind of important. But that you did notice they did a lot of painting. Yeah, and painting is absolutely the number one thing I see happening on the RV renovations pages, the things people talk about. Exactly. Like Josh said, the rigs, all the manufacturers put in this brown, and you know why, but then we all paint it. Or some people paint it. We don't paint it.
Yeah, we don't.
But other people paint it. So we thought we'd show you a few pictures of some folks that have done great jobs on painting it. So let's see.
Yeah, so we're going to go through these. This is
from Mercedes.
Mercedes
is on. I think your landscape something. I'm sorry, I've forgotten. But Mercedes is on the chat right now. And as you can see, they've actually started doing or well into doing a pretty full demo. I mean, they took everything out, and then they've painted these walls, put in some new floor. The wall paint, in case anybody's interested in, is called Bohemian Lace. I believe it's Sharon Williams, but maybe she could tell us that for sure. But so she's been a great she's been doing a great job on the RV Renovations page because she really shows us along the way what she's doing. She even has some fun things where she's been asking people to guess what she's going to do with something. And so I'm really excited, I know she is, to see when this gets completely finished, because it has been a great work in progress. So we're excited to share. We have more pictures of hers as well. Yeah. But you can see she did white as well. And then and last week, those of you that were watching saw Marcy. And Marcy also did a lot of white, though I think she said it was putty. It was actually called putty. So while it looks pretty white, yeah, it does. It's a little bit on the off-white side. So again, the white seems to be the pretty popular. Oh yeah. And then the next one. This one came to us from Megan on RV Renovations, and you can again see she's done something that is in white. It's a white satin from Lowe's. She did say she used primer, and what I've seen is that most people say you need about 1 or 2 coats of primer, and then 1 to 3 coats of or 2 to 3 coats of the paint. So when you're painting, you might want to take that into mind. Megan has a 2007 Trail Bay R Vision. It's a travel trailer. So, but they've redone their dinette, as you can see there, and all their walls and their cabinets as well. So yes, Marcy did put the bar high, but so did so many other people. So absolutely. So at any rate, And then this is now I forgot which one. Oh, Ryan. Yes. Oh, yeah. Ryan. And Ryan is really interesting. So you can see where they've done white. And also she redid the blue with she reupholstered the
like
cushions.
The contrast
yes,
there.
it's nice.
And then
she also
or whatever that is.
She also redid the countertops with epoxy, so that's kind of fun. And we'll see more of that later as well. But they did a great job, and she also again, you can see more of her kitchen cabinets doing the white, but with the epoxy countertops that she's redone. So yeah.
We've got Mercedes next.
Okay.
So
everybody does the cabinets, and the bathroom is, I think, probably one of the places where I would say maybe I could start there, because if I've messed up those cabinets, it's less cabinet space, right, to mess up. But Mercedes, again, did this. She started painting it. And this is an agave paint that she did. The color's called Agave Chalk by Martha Stewart. And you can see that she's starting to add some color. So some people do color. It seems like most of the color I see is these pops of color are in the bathroom. Yeah. So
Sarah was asking, do people strip the wallpaper first or just paint the paper? And we actually had a conversation with Winnebago about our rig. And I don't know if this applies to all of them, but Winnebago basically told us don't try to take the wallpaper off. It is gallons and gallons of glue. So I don't know what it is like for every rig, but for ours, they told us if we were going to paint over it, just paint straight over it. Don't try to remove it.
Josh, which one are you asking about? The one with the pop-out sides? I think if that was, tell me something about it, because I don't remember which one it is. So tell me in the chat, and I'll try to answer you which kind of rig that is. The one other thing to Sarah is a lot of the folks I say, yes, they paint over the wallpaper. They just sand down a little bit, especially on the edges. If it's because sometimes your paper is a little bit of a little ragged around the edges, so they'll cut some of that off or sand it and smooth it out. Exactly. Okay. And then what I liked here was Mercedes, again, she used that agave, and you can see at first she did it in the light, but then she decided she wanted it to have a little bit more pop, and so she did it darker. So that's exciting.
And here Mercedes got a little crazy.
Yeah, Mercedes, I want you to tell us more about this. So this was, she had this wall, and she wanted to make it a little more funky. So tell me how you did that. Oh, Joshua, yes. The one with the blue nautical it's a travel trailer, a 2007 Trail Bay R Vision. That's the one that had that. So, yeah. So turquoise, I know turquoise seems to be a popular color. You're going to see that again. People like the turquoise as a pop of color, but we also have others that do, I haven't seen any really bright colors. They tend to be more in the muted colors. And as we heard last week from Marcy, if you are going to do colors, definitely keep it to the neutral and then do just pops.
Yeah. Accentuate with the color.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Well, we got our friends the Macy's sent us some photos.
Oh, yes, they did. So again, if this is just an idea, I thought a great idea in that some people, want to do all of the cabinets, and that's great if you want to paint all your cabinets and take them apart and do all that. It's not
great, I don't think.
Well, it's great for some people. But what I liked with the Macy's is they decided let's not do all the cabinets, but they did some of the trim.
Yeah.
So here you can see a before picture, and that's Teresa looking very, very industrious as she's working. And then the next one, Larry's working in the kitchen, and again, so they wanted to add a little bit of color to the backsplash without painting, and they added this. It's a faux tin that you can get at Home Depot, and they said it's really easy to cut, doesn't tear up your fingers like most tin would do, and so they really were able to put this up in about 4 hours. They said it only took about 4 hours. Yeah. So here's the final picture that you can see. So it's really nice because while the cabinets, they left the cabinets, it really does. The cabinets look the same, but this pop of color around the fireplace and around that one cabinet wall really adds some color that makes it look completely different. The color here is Sherwin-Williams Cloudburst. And so, yeah. The other idea that I've seen a lot on the Reno page is people are saying in some of your cabinets, like for instance, maybe it would work here with the Macy's on the one above the television, they would leave the cabinet doors off. And then what they do is they put in there like some pretty baskets in there that fit in there.
Yeah.
So then it gives a different color and texture.
Opens it up a little bit,
and it opens it up a little bit. Or it might even give you more area to put a picture frame or something if you wanted something.
Joanne said that she's going to make hers look like an old-fashioned 50s diner, red, black, and white. And I've seen some of that, and that is really cool. So, Joanne, if you do that, make sure you take some really good pictures before and after.
Some video and some pictures before and after, and share.
Make sure to post those on the Facebook page. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, so we get back to Mercedes and getting into the concept of wallpaper.
Right. So again, if you don't want to paint, which we I think y'all have understood now, we don't really want to paint. But if you don't want to paint, wallpaper is another idea. So either you can do wallpaper, regular wallpaper, and I'm not sure, Mercedes, if this is regular wallpaper or not. I know a lot of people on the group have said they use like a spray adhesive and they put it up. I even heard one hint. Oh, well, actually, I think you'll hear that later, the hint. So I'm not going to tell you. So you can do wallpaper, which can really change the way it looks. Yeah. Here, Mercedes is doing it really more as an accent. She's not planning on doing this all through here, but right up here in the driver's area.
So, and the next one is when we bought our rig, it came with this beautiful brown,
just so brown,
with some nice brown tones to it, and and just to accent it, they added a little bit more brown
with the bedspread. Yeah,
with the bedspread. So it's really
and notice also the mirrors on what that is our closet. And so these giant mirrors, which that's just what you need, right? A mirror right in front of where you're sleeping.
So Deb wasn't happy with that. So she took we took the headboard down and repainted it, and then added some steel stick and peel wallpaper to the back. Really brightened up that space, made it look beautiful. She covered up the mirrors with a cool little what was that you put on the mirror?
That is just a window cling. I mean, that comes off really easily, and you see it a lot I saw it the other day, in fact, in Home Depot in the bathroom area, because a lot of people will do it on the showers. And they come in lots of that's just a rice paper kind of look or a foggy look. But they have some that are colorful. Like I saw one that was peacock. It was called, it looked kind of like stained glass. So it started giving me some ideas as well. Wouldn't work in that room unless I changed the wallpaper, obviously, but could work in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But yeah, the blue
took you a while, but it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't like days of work.
No. And my one suggestion, if you decide to do the peel and stick, is buy one more roll than you think you're going to need, so that you have some ways to mess up. And then B, because they do these. When they manufacture it, a lot of times the lots are different. So if you order some more later, it might actually be a slightly different color. Yeah. So it's good to go ahead and get more later. You can always return it if you don't use it.
Yep.
So, cool. But yeah. And also the other thing I point out here on this picture is the pillow. So a lot of folks have asked, or we talk a lot about different things we can buy and get for the rigs. This is actually a tea towel that we got on a trip when we went to Italy.
So literally, you bought a towel.
I bought a towel and then made a pillow out of it. And, or actually, I'll be honest, I paid someone to make the pillow out of it, sew the pillow out of it, because I didn't have a sewing machine. But it's neat.
It's a great memento
and a decoration that helped add some color to the area.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Very creative. All right, so then we have.
Thank you, Sarah. I like that wallpaper too. It's some of my favorite. And it was really by chance that I found that bed cover that matches it.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yes,
looks lovely.
Yes.
This is Nanette.
Nanette. Okay, so Nanette has done a beautiful job with hers.
I love this. Yeah.
Hers is a Class C, and I am forgetting now what kind of Class C, but it is a Class C. And you can see she actually did not go white here. Yep. She went black, and that color is Bare Ultra Little Black Dress. And then some of it is in a little bit of white from South.
So it's a nice contrast. So she's got the dark cabinets below, and then lighter tones above, and then sort of a balance on the refrigerator. And some other areas, just a nice really feel throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, the upper cabinets are white, and that is a set from Sherwin-Williams. Sherwin-Williams seems to be the most popular brand, I have to say. That's one I see a lot. But yeah, the wallpaper she uses, and we'll have more pictures of her rig later, is Joss and Man, and she got that from Amazon. So,
and this is just a shot of what she did, almost like a oh, what do you call that?
shiplap.
Shiplap kind of look going on one of her walls.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep, and that shiplap is actually wallpaper. So that part is wallpaper that she did with adhesive. Yeah.
All right. So the next, we had one of the RV Facebook page members sent us a really cool walkthrough of her rig that they have renovated during this COVID mess that we're in. And
and they started out thinking they were just going to do a little bit of it, and COVID allowed them to do lots more.
So
you're going to hear more about it.
We're going to play this quick little video, and then we will catch you on the other side.
So anyway, when I started this, it was really before all this Corona stuff, and it was just going to be, let's use the leftover material from old projects and houses we flipped, which was really paint. Obviously wanted to upholster and get rid of the camper fabric, because the dinette and the upholstery was done kind of by hand from the sewing machine at my house, back and forth. And it is painter's drop cloth canvas, which I got from someone else gave me that idea. It was a Pinterest post. Same with this part right here. This used to be the little cardboard canvas back trim that comes in campers, which always breaks. So I really like that. Bending that to that one arch right here was kind of tricky, because the one I got the idea of was flat. See, we also did that over here, which this is going to now be the step to get up to the bunk, instead of having to put the ladder on now, because my kids would always use that as a step anyway, and then it broke and they'd fall. And when you put the ladder right there in that space, it closes off the front seats, which are able to turn and make this larger. But when you put the ladder up, I hated that, because you just it made that spot unusable, even though there are two really comfortable seats. So upholstering those front seats were a huge pain in the butt, and probably the longest part of the project. And I love them, but I would definitely don't want to do them again. I did that with that was all by hand, and then a lot of adhesive spray, which I use this stuff for. Not only I use that for wallpaper and the upholstery. Let's see what else. So I used the wallpaper as an accent, and the backsplash came off. That was one of the other things that we went back and forth on. That's white Subway peel and stick tile from Amazon. You use a little bit of water and alcohol in a spray bottle, and you spray that on the back of the adhesive, and then you have more room to work, because if you miss stick, you can peel it back up without ruining everything, and try again. Then I just went in with caulk right over the edges to bring it all together and make it look more clean. Another thing I like is right here, my son helped us paint and prime this whole thing, and that's his handiwork. I think we're gonna leave it. So I got the idea for the windows curtains. I took those old side normal thingies out, and we used burlap. That shade actually didn't get ripped out, so we kept it because it is nice to block the light. It didn't work so well on that side. So I just double lined it with just some leftover white fabric that we had lying around, or it was like a $3 find from Walmart. I didn't replace all of the hardware. I left some of the original hardware, but we replaced the knobs. And I haven't decided if I'm going to pull hardware off and spray it so they all match, or this part was probably both of our favorites, but it was my favorites were always turned out to be the ones that were a huge catastrophe. So this map I found off Amazon, and it has all of the national parks on it and historic sites. But when I glued it, I missed, and there was a bubble right here in the middle of the country. So then when I went to here, it's right about there. I don't know if you can see it moving. So my kids joke that the Rocky Mountains aren't quite in the right spot. But when I went to polyurethane it, the bubble was still there. So then we learned how to epoxy. I really like how the epoxy turned out, but it just wasn't intended to be that in-depth of a table. But I took the edges of the burlap that we cut off and put it on the edge to catch the epoxy and to give a contrast between the really shiny surfaces and some softer surfaces. We did the chalkboard paint on the fridge. I haven't decided if I'm going to let the kids actually chalk on it. Went into the bedroom. There was carpet everywhere, which I ripped up. And we had this box of leftover LVT from another project, which, so I bought the second box. Unfortunately, I wasn't intending to, but we did end up, I like how it turned out. We took it the rest of the way of the hallway and into the bathroom. Again, the bathroom was not supposed to be a project we took on, but thanks to Corona, we had plenty of time on our hands. So the bathroom got done. Kind of brought the same colors in here. Not a whole bunch of tricky, except for LVT floor in a small space is a pain in the butt. We again painted all of the cabinets. I experimented with some vinyl peel and stick countertop, I guess. It's just a roll, and those counters used to look like that. So I just wanted to, I kind of played around with a bunch of different ideas in here. I took a bunch of leftover mismatch scraps and did our headboard. That is with some concrete glue. And then my, what else? Oh, that I got from the Restore. That is actually, I made that. It is the crown molding from a kitchen light that was at the Habitat Restore, and there was no light in it, obviously. So I took some leftover of the burlap and some metal poles we had from railing, and just kind of made that little, it's either going to be a bookshelf or more shoes. That was the last thing that we did. My husband still wants to do lights, but there is just linoleum under there. I didn't want to rip it up. I did not want to take this LVT through the whole camper, although I know it would have looked beautiful. I didn't want to pay for it. I didn't want to do it. So my husband thought I was just going to paint it gray and poly it, and he thought maybe a stencil would look nice. So we bought a $5 stencil, and I was on my hands and knees for 3 days, and then 2 more days to undo and redo because one of the spots right through the middle, I misaligned it. And then we polyed over it. So I kind of purposely did a border right there because I didn't want to push it all the way into the edges. I might come back and change that later. We're going to live with it for a little bit. Again, super tedious because it's just one little stencil. I probably could have bought a bigger 12 by 12, but they were $40 versus the $5. So, again, leftover white paint and gray paint we had, and then just came back with some of our decorations from Big Lots and put it back together.
Hey, okay. Well, that was cool. That was a quick end.
That was a quick end.
I wasn't expecting to get that quick.
Yeah, y'all are all talking about, she did a great job. That table's really interesting.
Yep.
And doesn't seem like it would be that difficult to do with the, everybody's decoupage once or twice in their life, right? So
we did have an interesting comment from Ken Tishna.
Yeah.
Wanted to throw out there the Behr Marquee paint, which is a one-coat primer, paint and primer mix. So while it's more expensive than perhaps other paint might be, you're not having to buy primer and paint. So thanks, Ken.
Yep. So yeah, you can see with Jessica, they are doing a complete reno, and as you mentioned, Lauren, I think it was Lauren, that you started out just thinking you're going to do this much, but COVID, we're all stuck anyway, so you might as well do a little bit more. Exactly. Right. But her floors were really interesting, I thought, and I love that. Essentially, they made it their own. It doesn't have to be perfect. Right. And they did a little bit, and then they did a little bit more, and then they kept on going.
Yeah,
so,
I like the messed up light that her son did. She's like, doesn't need to be perfect.
It is, yeah. The other thing, I know a lot of us that are full timers. This question's come up. Like, she's not a full timer, so she was able to kind of do the reno, I think, and they weren't living in it. But other people that live in their rig, and what I've seen on the reno group is just pick one section and do one section at a time, and then that way you're not living with paint fumes. And there is some paint out there that I think they called it milk paint, that doesn't have as strong of a, I know, right? As strong of an odor. So
I think you're making this up.
I didn't make that up, but maybe they did. I don't know. So yeah.
And our next week, Britton and Josh, they have renovated. They are currently renovating one, and they've renovated one. So it'll be interesting to hear their perspective of being full time and renovating at the same time.
Yep.
All right.
So Rick, you're asking a question about the carpet.
Oh,
we actually
yes.
are going to talk about flooring next. So interesting that you're asking that. It is possible. There are a lot of people that pull up the carpet. A lot of times it'll have just wood underneath of it, and then they put the hard floor down. I haven't seen really anybody that's using real hardwood, so I don't know if that's what your question was. But they are using vinyl that looks like wood, or sheets of them. Yeah, exactly. Or this stuff that fits together. What's it called? Tongue and groove.
Yeah, tongue and groove.
So I've seen some of that.
Yeah. And out of normal, just clarified, when Jessica was mentioning LVT on her video, it is luxury vinyl tile. LVT sounds pretty cool.
It does sound cool. And you'll see a little bit more of that in a minute. And someone on the Croy says, what we found out is with LVT, you want to be sure to pick the one that can handle below freezing temperatures. Great point.
Yeah. Good tip.
Yeah. So, and Josh, yes, it is probably great fun to be working in the middle of a project zone, living in the middle of a project zone. So, the next thing is campers. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I thought it was something else. So, at any rate, the campers are friends of ours that are also part-timers and live up in the north.
Yep.
But they
great
winter
white
in the
north.
South, and nobody would blame them for that.
Nope.
And I haven't seen this video, but I hear it's amusing. So let's
It's
see
kinda
what
funny.
Shreg has to say.
We'll see. This is a short one. We'll see you on the other side.
We're doing this for RV Renovations. Hi, Barry and Deborah. I'm Shreg, Greg Kemper, and behind the camera is my wife, Jennifer. We have a 2006 Jayco Seneca 35-foot RV. It's about 10 years old, 14 years old, so the carpet was wore out. So we decided, we got to freshen this thing up. So we decided to put in some floors, some laminate floors. They're a click lock floor, if you will. I believe that's what they're called. So initially, when we did the tear out, some lessons learned you talk about is there's a lot of staples underneath the carpet here. There's a lot of staples, and it holds a lot of dirt. So when you're pulling out your floors, be very aware that you're going to be stepping on staples. It took a long time to get the staples out, but you have to get every doggone one of them. Now, a friend of mine has laid several of these floors. So rather than doing it myself and taking the entire summer, I asked him to do it. He did it in a matter of an afternoon. So it was well worth having an expert come in and actually lay the floor. So we did add these trim areas over here, you can see, because this floating floor does need about a 1/4 inch of space in between the walls. So it sort of floats around. And you can see the edge there that Jennifer's looking at right now. That's the actually only part of this floor that I did myself. And I'm pretty proud of that. I only had to measure once and cut 3 times. Over here we have where the old couch was, and we decided we needed a new one. The old one was a sleeper couch, and it weighed about 748 pounds. It was very heavy. So we got this one. It's a wall hugger, or as I call it, a tree hugger, and it really stays close to the wall, and you can go out all the way. So we essentially eliminated a bed, and we have to replace it with this. So now very short people can spend the night. And then underneath, we had this piece of carpet custom made. So lessons learned there is when you pull that piece of carpet out, make sure that you hold on to that for whomever is making the replacement piece of carpet so they can size it correctly. And this one worked out just right. We left the dinette simply because this is where I office when we're living in the RV, and it was very comfortable. You see this cushion? It's got an imprint for my butt right here, so I fit in there perfectly, and it's very comfortable for me. I had considered taking this piece out and having a bigger couch and then using a chair or something at the end. Still kind of toying with that idea, but once you have this all apart, it's very, very easy to sort of rearrange things, if you will. So as you can see through the back, the floors go all the way through the back and into the bedroom, and the trim along the floor here. And you can also see that in the bathroom it's very well finished out, and the edging is just a nice little touch. So going on through there. So the next time we do renovation, it's going to be this kitchen sink's going. This is going to go, and we're going to put a new countertop in. So the next time we talk, we'll have a whole new kitchen setup here with a backsplash. Not the backsplash you guys use, because that's horrible. But anyways, that's our new floor in our 2006 Jayco Seneca. Thank you very much. We appreciate your website. It's awesome. We get a lot of great tips there. I love your Tuesday shows, even though you won't answer my texts. Bye.
Bye.
Right, yeah,
I
thanks.
promised not to answer your text still, Shrek.
Well, the reason we haven't answered his text is because we gave him the wrong number on purpose.
On purpose.
So, so thank you, Kempers. Really appreciate that.
Yes. So that was about floors. So
Yeah.
now you have a little bit more about floors. And the next pictures are about floors too.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Lauren's done an amazing job of lots of things. You can see here, they've really demoed
This
a
is
lot.
incredible. Yeah.
I love that her husband has on the big masks.
Yeah.
And then going to the afters. You can see they
That
did a
is
gorgeous.
amazing.
Yes, this is beautiful. And that floor, Lauren told me, was on Traffic Master grip strip LVP, and in that color is weathered stock chestnut. And then on the walls is alabaster. The lower area is Calvary on the those blue cabinets. And warm sienna is that accent wall that you see back there. That kind of looks like the wall we used to have in our sticks and bricks. Now that I look at that.
Yeah, that's really, really beautiful. And I'm sorry, did you mention what's going on with the ceiling there?
I did not, and I did not ask her. But Lauren, maybe if you can let us know.
Lauren, that's a really cool treatment to the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like. I just love what you've done to this rig.
Yes, and if y'all look over there in the bedroom, there's an example of having those open cabinets without the doors on them.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Great work.
Thank you.
Okay, so we just did a time check, and we have about 45 minutes more material to fit in 15 minutes of
quite.
show. So we're going to have to move through this pretty quickly. So we're going to go right into bathrooms now, right?
Yes,
So-
and this was one that y'all saw last week with Marcy, and as she mentioned, just the smallest things can make a big difference. She did put in a different floor, and then really just the shower curtain and painted it a little bit pink. And then we also have Jessica, who again has that teal that we saw, and actually this was in the video, so we've seen this. And then Nanette, I love
this is amazing.
her bathroom. This is amazing. So this is her before.
Get ready. If you're not paying attention, get focused. All right.
Pay attention.
Yeah, pay attention here, people, because this goes from this to that.
So she painted it with that little black dress color, but look at that cute little owl up there, and that owl comes from her peel and stick that she did on the other part of the bathroom unit. So yeah, you see him there on that peel and stick wallpaper, and she cut him out and put him there on the black,
Very
which is
clever.
kind of clever and cute. And then I love how she matches the shower curtain. So this is obviously very black and white bathroom, but it is gorgeous. Oh, Lawrence said the ceiling is tongue and groove.
Okay, so I want to go.
I thought that was cedar.
I want to
Thank
go
you,
back
Lauren.
to that real quick. So, tongue and groove cedar planks. Boy, that could be a show all in of itself. Is how did you get that to stay up there? And
I bet it smells good.
yeah, I bet it. Yeah, it smelled great for a while. Okay, all right. So let's get back. So we did some peel and stick. This was our bathroom, and again, lovely browns on top of browns, and beautiful. And then Deb went in there and just added, while it is staying with the earth tone and browns and whatever, it worked really nicely to put that peel and stick in there with the sort of brick pattern.
And I will say, I just used this stick, the peel and stick, just as it came. I've heard from a few folks on the Reno group that when you do this, to add some spray adhesive perhaps would help it. And I will say that we have a little piece of it there right above the little towel rack that is coming down. So I think that might be with the moisture in that room, I think that is more likely. The funny thing is it's sticking really well right
sticking
around the
everywhere
shower.
else, yeah.
It's just right there. So, but yeah.
All right, and then finally for bathroom.
This again comes from Ryan. And one of the things I really wanted to point out here, and we saw this again, she was the one that had the sort of nautical look with the navy, the countertop. So that is a Rust-Oleum countertop that she put down, and it's in the putty color. So I think that's really cool to redo the countertops.
Yeah, and I love this subway tile. Not the bright white subway tile you see so often, but it is a nice, cool subway tile.
She also spray. That's okay. It's well, yeah. She also spray painted that sink, so it's a little bit whiter. She used a Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch semi-gloss paint, and then you might see that tiny little leaf right there by the toilet cover.
Yeah.
That's actually a peel and stick thing she put on there that helps you lift up the toilet seat so you don't have to touch the toilet seat. So I thought that was kind of clever.
That's clever.
Yeah. I had never seen anything look like you could get it on Amazon. So there you go.
All right. We are coming to the last segment of the show.
So the last segment is about personalization.
Yes.
And we have some friends that we're going to give one more tour. Ken and April Pishna have you know what they have.
Class C. And they mentioned it in the first of the video, but it's a Class C, and they have done tons to personalize it and make it their own. So it is a fun rig. So we're going to give you a quick tour of that rig, and then we'll be back to show some photos.
Just a few more things, and then we'll be finished.
Stand by. We'll see you back soon.
Welcome to our home. This is Rafe. He's named after the lovely, wonderful human being that we bought him from, so it was warranted that we name our camper Rafe.
And we're Ken and April of livingastoutlife.com. And Rafe is a 24-foot BT cruiser made by Gulfstream. Obviously, it's a self-contained motorhome, and we do this whole thing full time.
Just the cab.
It's kind of small for a lot of people, but for us, just the two of us, it works out really well. And what really works most for us, I think, is that we've really tried hard to make this our home. So everything you see in here added to it is pretty much something from our travels, or something that we or our kids made, or photography that we have, or our collection of beer coasters from all around the place.
Which means we are tegestologists. Thank you. There's a term for collecting coasters?
Yes. Collecting coasters is called tegestology. Just learned that.
Yeah.
Big word. We had to show it off.
Right? So this thing, I think, is one of our pride pieces. So basically what it was is like empty storage up there. There's a TV up there and a couple of little storage places that was really wasted space. So one day before we had lived full time, I decided to tear it all apart and then told Kenny, fix it.
And obviously tearing that apart, if you've lived in your rig for any amount of time, you realize that's pretty easy to do. It's all 1/8 thick veneer. So
he fixed it.
And this is pine, beetle kill pine from Colorado. And it just has a kind of a cool character to it, and that's why we went with that. And it reminds us of home.
And tons of storage. Goes all the way back there, all the way back there. And if you really wanted to, you could pull all this crap out, set it up, and you could have it as a bed. So we called it our spare bedroom for a little while.
Yeah.
But this is stuff that we took when we were in Rome. I had a huge centerpiece when we were in our sticks and brick house with a big, like, green kind of old window frame that framed them all, and I couldn't bring that here, so this is the best it got. It's like this right here. And all the artwork. So this is what one of our oldest son made for one of my birthdays. He drew all of this by hand. Yeah. And then we just have pictures from everywhere. I think something that's really cool though is the queso.
Yeah.
So we've always signed it Ken, April, Zach, and Owen. And so before we left, Ken decorated his, I decorated mine, Zach decorated his, and Owen decorated his. So queso's always with us.
Yeah, it's just been a thing for us on Christmas cards and birthday cards and things like that for people. We always signed it like that, just so it was from all of us. But,
Ooh, another one of the first things to go were these the window coverings that every single RV has. Those, what do you call them?
The
Those
balance.
balances. Ugh. I did not like those. So they pulled out, and then we had this material that we got from a student that stayed with us from Tanzania. And so we basically just cut it ourselves and made it made it into curtains.
Right, and those are just like shower rod type rods, the tension rods that you can put up there, and they stay really well even while traveling around. And we did that. We did the same thing on the other side. Then we've got the seats here were ugliest sin with the upholstery. So April found these Mexican blankets while we were down in Baja just a few months ago, and just kind of really tucked them in, and it's just kind of a DIY nice way to cover the ugly cushions and making them something worth living in that makes us feel more comfortable and more homey.
Yeah, and on the curtains, the same thing. We took down the valance, and then this was from when I went to Kenya, and I brought back this material and we turned it into a curtain, which is much better, much more, it's prettier.
Oh,
and
yes.
This
the prayer flags all the way from Missoula. Montana.
I like the color. I like the idea of them. We're not like super religious on any means from any religion, but I think the whole idea of the prayer flags, it's just a very spiritual being. Plus, they were like really cheep.
And colorful though too.
Colorful.
Before we leave the bedroom, the living room is also the bedroom. So in a 24-foot RV, we don't have a back bedroom closed off in the back. So this couch turns into a bed. It's a jackknife couch, which a lot of you are probably familiar with that term, but it just opens up, and we have a 3-inch memory foam mattress that goes on top of it, and it's actually been rather comfortable, because if you don't have that memory foam, no, it would be a deal breaker.
Yeah. It's almost a queen size when it's pulled all the way out, and what's really cool though is this is a slide out right over here, so this all slides in, and everything in here is still super functional. So it definitely makes the bed a little bit smaller. You can't pull the whole bed out, but it's still functional, and it's, you can still pull the bed out and you can still get to the bathroom.
You can stealth camp.
Yeah.
Yep. And here's our lovely big kitchen, our nice island in the kitchen that is also our sink.
We have a full oven though. A lot of RVs, I guess, don't have ovens.
We do have a full oven and a 3-burner stove and a microwave, believe it or not a convection oven. Yeah. So, and room for a coffee pot. So I don't know. We've kind of maxed our space pretty well, I think, for a 24-footer. And that's our
beautiful bathroom.
Lovely bathroom.
Wait, you want to see something really cool?
The curtain?
No, ready?
The curtain is actually pretty cool.
This, oh, I should have. Okay, fine. It's our laundry storage, but it's also our beer cooler.
And other storage, whatever.
Yeah, our shower is our storage.
And that is obviously a replacement curtain because it had one of those ugly accordion things. Ugh. I don't know who designed these RVs in the first place, but man, you got to get your game on.
But look, we also have beer tins. This is we joke that this is our like revisited. We never went to college dorm. So that's what all the coasters and beer tins. Yeah. And more art. This was from Kenya, from the Maasai warriors. And then our oldest made these. And just little, we're Bronco fans.
This is cool. This is Rafe's back end. So that's just our bikes. And obviously they usually go on the bike rack. But this storage container, adorned with many brewery stickers, as you can see, and stickers from our other friends and stuff. But this is a steel storage container that my brother made, or our brother made, and he welded all this together himself. And then he welded a frame to the bottom of it, and then that frame is also welded and bolted onto the frame of the RV itself. So it is not going anywhere. And then he also has an anchor bolt inside the top container on the storage box that goes through the back wall and plates up against the back of the RV so it doesn't shake around. But
we had to have this because when we moved into the RV, we wanted to bring everything with us, and everything involved camping gear, snowboarding gear, hiking gear, and home brew gear. Yes. So.
All right, well, thanks for checking out our rig, and hopefully we'll see you down the road somewhere.
Yeah. Cheers.
Be sure to stop by and say hi.
That's great.
Yeah.
So personalized.
Very personalized.
Definitely fits them and their personality. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. It's a
so
great
thank you,
rig.
Ken and April. That was awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. So we've got a couple other things we want to go through real
Just quick.
Yeah, real quick. So we had 3 TVs in our rig when we bought
Why?
it.
We're not sure.
And that's about how many we had in our sticks and bricks.
It's more than we had in our sticks and bricks.
At one point, yeah. So we had this one TV that we really didn't need or use a whole lot. So we just got a big canvas print, tore off the back of that canvas print, and then just rested it right on top of the TV.
Which you might say is familiar looking since it's
since it's right behind us. All right, and then well, tell us about these cushions.
Megan did these cushions, and really this again was an opportunity to show how people personalize it. She got this fabric from Joann's Fabric. It's $7 a yard, and she said she really just put some wood back there, spray adhesive, and tacked it all on there. So that'll be the cushions on the dinette that you saw earlier where she had already painted it white, but those will be going back on.
Yeah, nice splash of texture.
Yeah, absolutely. It's called Ghana Midnight is the name of that fabric. And then Marcy last week showed us how she had personalized with her lamp and her pillows. So that was nice. And then Nanette, again, the one we showed you earlier, the very dramatic bathroom, which we loved. She has a Frenchie, and you can see that she has personalized her space, really talking about blessing her nest and using little signs. And also the next picture, she has, she put this shiplap wallpaper up. That's her headboard, right?
Headboard for the bedroom.
Absolutely. And then she also did some fun pillows, and you can see she even got her Frenchie pillow in there. And so she's really made this space special. And Joanne, you were saying that you're going to do kind of a diner theme. So here you can see a little bit what a black, red, and white rig will look like. So
that is a lot of information.
That was a lot of inspiration. So I hope everybody really enjoyed that. And we're getting some great comments. And I love that you guys are telling us things that we can do in the future. And definitely love the idea, Mercedes, of us following up with some of these and showing people what the final products look like. So I guess you can come up with a new segment music and stuff.
Where are they now?
Yeah, we can revisit some of the things that we've done in the past. So that'll be great. So this has been really fun. Yeah. We had fun pulling all this together. Next week, we're going to have Britton and Josh, who have been in the chat with us today. So excited to talk with them. They've redone one Airstream and they are redoing another one.
Yeah, and the one they're in now is super cool. It is one of the few motor coach Airstreams. So it is going to be a lot of fun. Hope you join us for that.
Yeah, come back. And then the week after that, the week after that.
The week after that. Yep.
2 weeks from now, we're going to be talking with Katie and Eric from
Mountain Modern Life. Mm-hmm. Mountain Modern Life. And they've done some really cool stuff with their rig.
Yes.
Amazing. So 2 weeks in a row, we've got some really cool renovation stuff coming up after this.
Yep. So we're excited to share all that with you. We think this is a really fun topic that a lot of people are really interested in. And if there's anything that we've missed that you want to hear more about, we will be happy to hear about it. I know I've already gotten some other videos and pictures that people have sent us that we weren't able to get in today's show. So hopefully we'll get them into the future.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. We sincerely appreciate it.
Like us.
Like us. We want you to like us.
Please like us.
Please like us. Like this video.
Thanks, Doug.
Hit that bell to be notified of future episodes. We sincerely appreciate you being here. And I know in these weird times, we're not traveling as much, but we hope to see you around the virtual campground more often. So thank you very much.
Shrek says it was a good show.
Oh, Shrek said it was Shrek said it was a good show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's really, who else needs to say anything?
But everybody else is too. So I really appreciate it to everybody. And we're so glad to see everybody in the chat. It's always so fun to see you. So see you next week. We're
going to play you out. Deborah did another blog post. This one was about the Smoky Mountains. We loved it out there, both on the Tennessee side and on the North Carolina side. So we have some of our favorite photos from that. We'll play you out and hope to see you next week.
Go to the website to see more.
That's right. Take care. Bye.